The Koenigsegg Regera was made by the smart people at Koenigsegg, who wanted to make a high-end megacar. The Regera, like all the other models in the brand's lineup, is made to perform well and be as refined as possible. This megacar is very fast and will make the driver's heart beat fast. It also has a unique interior that you can't find anywhere else. The Regera is made for people who want their high-end vehicle to be perfect. How much does a Koenigsegg Regera cost? Let's get this over with quickly. Koenigsegg doesn't make cheap cars, and the base price of the Regera is about $1.9 million. It's huge and costs a lot. There's no way around it. But for the 1% of people who want the best, you could argue that it's a fair price. This much is how much the Bugatti Chiron costs. And while the VW-owned brand has more power, the Koenigsegg is a better choice. True innovation costs money, and Koenigsegg is always pushing the limits of how cars can be made. So if you just want the best, most modern, and most stylish one, this is it. It will also continue to be much harder to get than the Chiron. Only 80 Regeras will be made, and it doesn't matter if none of your friends have one if you have the money to buy one. Regera design by Koenigsegg. The body of the Regera is based on that of the gasoline-powered Regera, but it has been enlarged to fit the large 4.5 kilowatt-hour battery pack, which is protected by a safety cell in the middle of the vehicle in case of an accident. Koenigsegg also changed the Regera's aerodynamics and looks to give it a unique personality. We love the low-slung front splitter and the rounded nose, which have the purpose of a race car but look like a luxury car. Koenigsegg wanted it to be a big touring car that his customers could use in the most comfort, while it is a long high-speed car as well. Because of this, every body panel has a hydraulic part that lets it be opened for a distance. This is called Autoskin by Koenigsegg. This is also why the roof panel lifts up in stores in the front trunk, so you can drive with the top down without the problems of a fabric roof. The car is made entirely of carbon fiber and weighs only 3,510 pounds, which is very light for a hybrid that can do so much. Regera Power by Koenigsegg. Here is where the real magic takes place. The Regera was already a missile, and the Regera has its own 5-liter twin-turbo V8. This gives it 1,100 brake horsepower at 7,800 revolutions per minute and 941 pound-per-foot torque at 4,100 revolutions per minute. Koenigsegg may have ended there, but he wasn't done yet. No car needs that much power, so he moved 2 steps ahead, then put in 3. Yes, you heard that right, 3. Yasa electric motors. One of them is a motor that drives, starts the engine, and gives the twin-turbo engine more torque. I've never met anyone who said they could feel dead spots in a 1,100 brake horsepower engine's torque curve that goes very fast that an average brain cannot keep track with. But there is some turbo lag, which Koenigsegg's single electric motor gets rid of. 2 more electric motors on the driveshaft, each with 180 kilowatts, 241 brake horsepower, make things even crazier. But they'd also give the car one of the smartest technological advances, which we'll talk about in a minute. For now, all you need to do is have fun with the numbers. The most important thing to know is that electric motors and internal combustion engines reach their peak power at different times, and they aren't meant to always be going full speed. Since it has a more subtle setup, it can only reach about 1,500 brake horsepower and 1,475 pound-per-feet of torque at its most powerful. Rimac made the 250-pound, 800-volt, 4.5 kilowatt-hour battery, which Koenigsegg says is the most powerful battery ever put in a mass-produced car. The Koenigsegg Regera has an electric-only mode. Yes, even though the McLaren P1 and LaFerrari can't do much without turning on their gas engines, the Koenigsegg can drive around happily without using any gas. The reason is that the Swedish company has made yet another great technological breakthrough. At low speeds, a hydraulic coupling keeps the engine from being connected to the drivetrain. It doesn't do anything and just sits there like a heavy passenger. That means the car can move quickly and quietly around town without using a single drop of gas. You'd never know you were driving Satan's hypercar because it only uses electric motors on the driveshafts. When it gets to 30 miles per hour, the connection is made. The engine is linked to the drivetrain, and you have the full Monty with all the power going through a 2.73-to-1 rear differential. Regera acceleration by Koenigsegg. With this much power, it's no surprise that the speed is mind-numbing. Since it has a rear-wheel drive, the tires are the main source of traction when it first starts moving. So the time of 2.7 seconds to go from 0 to 60 miles per hour is great, but it doesn't tell the whole story. When you turn down the traction control, which can be changed in an infinite number of ways, you get close to the truth because the car can burn its rear tires whenever you want. The time it takes to go from 93 to 155 miles per hour is 3.9 seconds. The time it takes to go from 93 to 186 miles per hour is 10.9 seconds, and the top speed is 20 seconds. This car has insane acceleration and may blow your mind thinking how fast it goes, a Formula One car or a fighter jet. But you can be sure that this is better than almost everything else in the world. This vehicle doesn't really stick to much. Simply put, it's one of the fastest cars on the road. It's wild in every way, and if you press the loud pedal hard enough, it'll set your hair on fire. Top speed Koenigsegg Regera. The truth is that this car can go faster than 250 miles per hour. There is, however, a limit, which is often associated with the tires. Beyond 250 miles per hour, rubber is almost out of the question. The car needs special tires, and Koenigsegg would have to give up a lot in terms of handling and noise and vibration isolation, and to get the sidewall strength needed for 20 miles per hour at the top end that no one will ever use. This car is made to accelerate quickly, and the top speed is almost a side effect and not what the car was truly made for. It's a great number, but when both cars are going full speed, only the Bugatti Chiron can say it's faster than the Regera. Still, we would have to see it to believe it. Koenigsegg's Regera Direct Drive. This piece of equipment is so unusual that it deserves its own notice. This is a lot more than the typical automatic gearbox, which is very complicated and has all of the gears, but only controls them automatically. Koenigsegg has done away with the gearbox and replaced it with a single gear. It still has paddle shifters, but they are connected to the hydraulic system and don't move the gears. Shifting down is really connected to regenerative braking, which has the same effect as a normal downshift. When you shift up, the hydraulic connection slips, which raises the revolutions per minute and recreates the action that lets the engine send more power and torque to the back wheels. The car doesn't even have a reverse gear. When you choose reverse, it just switches the power supply to the electric motors, disconnects the engine, and lets the magic of reverse current through the motors do the work. Thanks for watching this video. Please make sure to hit like and subscribe to this channel for more.